Hey guys, it's Michael from Devoted to Vinyl, and in this video, we're going to be talking all about vinyl record grading. What is it? How is it done? And why is it so important? Now, if you've only purchased vinyl records brand new from stores like Urban Outfitters or Amazon.com, then you might not actually know that there's an intricate grading system already in place for people that buy and sell used vinyl records and jackets online. In fact, through a grading system that ranks the physical appearance and sound quality of a vinyl record from poor to mint condition, vinyl record grading is an invaluable resource to collectors that want to purchase previously owned records online, but also want to make sure they have an idea of what they can expect before they spend their money. And as a vinyl record seller, well, it's going to be incumbent on you to be able to grade your records as accurately as possible, because potential buyers are relying on your honesty to help inform their decision on whether or not to buy a vinyl record that you're selling. And while I'm going to cover how you can go about selling your vinyl records online in a separate video, I really wanted this video to focus on how you can go about grading your vinyl records properly, just in case you ever find yourself in a position where you want to buy or sell used vinyl records online. So let's take a closer look at vinyl record grading. Now, first up is mint condition. Now, mint condition jackets and vinyl records are perfect. My personal belief is that records described as mint should be records that are still sealed. Next up is near mint condition. Now, near mint is virtually perfect, with maybe the exception that there's a very minor amount of shelf wear to the jacket. But the record itself should be glossy, clean, and free from surface marks. A near mint record can technically have been played before, but it must be in such near perfect condition that it sounds as if it's never been played. Next up is very good plus or excellent condition. Now, a grade of very good plus or excellent, a difference that is more or less a matter of semantics, are records that are in great shape overall, but they might be suffering from a few light scuff marks or hairline scratches on the surface. None of the problems that the record is suffering from should downgrade the quality of the sound, however, as buyers purchasing a record rated very good plus or excellent are expecting a very high quality record and high quality sound. As far as the jacket is concerned, very good plus or excellent condition means the record sleeve might have some light scuff marks on it, showing that there's been a little bit of shelf wear. And there might be a small cutout or hole punch in an otherwise great looking album cover. Next up is very good condition. Now, in my opinion, this is the grade where you can get the biggest bang for your buck. Records graded as very good should sound quite nice while playing on your turntable, but more apparent scratches and scuffs on the surface of the record will cause you to hear the occasional pop, tick, or crackle. Nevertheless, a record graded as very good should not be overwhelmed by surface noise in any way. Album covers that are rated very good will, overall, look well taken care of. With that said, you're much more likely to see a small amount of ring wear or a split seam happening near the top or bottom of the album cover. On top of that, past owners of very good album jackets may have scribbled names or notes on the cover, or made small markings or drawings in pen on the front or back. Now, next up is good condition. Now, remember when Michael Jackson was reminding everyone that bad meant good? Well, the opposite is sort of true here when it comes to grading vinyl records that receive a grade of good. Now, granted, a record that's graded as good is certainly playable. It should be able to play from start to finish without skipping, for example. But that's about where the compliments end. Records graded as good can be expected to have fairly considerable surface noise. They'll have very visible scuffs and scratches on the surface, and the long-term wear and tear of the records being played has resulted in the sound being absolutely full of surface noise, which will overall degrade the listening experience. Records rated as good may also be warped records. And while a warped record doesn't necessarily prevent the record from playing successfully from beginning to end, it does likely require you to purchase a record clamp or weight in an attempt to mitigate the edge warp problem. As far as album covers go, you can expect to see significant ring wear. You might also see some rips on the covers, split seams, significant scribbles in pen by previous owners, stains, stickers, and more. If you're buying a record that's graded as good, you're likely doing so for one of the following reasons. Number 1, it's incredibly cheap. Number 2, the record features music you cannot find in any other released format. And number 3, the record, simply put, has sentimental value for you. And now we arrive to the final grade, which is fair or poor condition. These records are often in a shape that, well, just really ain't respectable. You should expect these records to be heavily scratched, warped, and in some cases, outright broken. Playing these kinds of records can be an exercise in futility. The only saving grace here is that these records may sell for incredibly cheap. We're talking cents, not dollars. Or they might simply be given away for free on trash day. Album covers graded as fair or poor are in horrendous shape. Not only can you expect to see rips, split seams, and ring wear, but also covers suffering from water damage due to flooded basements. Now, it's important to remember that grading your records and your album covers need to be done independent of each other. Although you might have a record that grades out as only about a good or very good on the vinyl record grading scale, it's certainly possible that the album cover could be rated a very good plus. And this takes me to my second point, which is all about grading the records properly. Buyers are not just trusting that you're grading records on how they look, but also on how they sound. Now, while it might be hard to test drive a record before you sell it, especially if you have thousands and thousands of records you're trying to unload online, you still might want to do this if you can, especially if you have a turntable that's high quality and have a pretty good stylus, because you want to be able to prevent the possibility of a buyer being disappointed in the sound quality based on how you graded the record. And if you can't test a record before you sell it, then you might want to undergrade a record in order to keep the expectations of a potential buyer on the lower end of the spectrum. Undergrade? What the hell does undergrade mean? Is that even a word? So if you have a record that looks like it's in very good plus condition, but you really don't have the time to be able to throw it on your turntable and see how it sounds, you might be better off choosing to grade it as very good. At the end of the day, buying records online that you haven't seen in person can seem a bit like a scary process at first. That's why if you buy used records online, whether it's a website like eBay or Discogs, you always want to make sure that you check out the seller's feedback rating and user reviews. If it seems like a large majority of past customers had positive experiences, then you can feel a lot more confident that the seller you're giving your money to is trustworthy and reliable. So that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more when it comes to vinyl record grading. If you found this video to be helpful, please hit the like button down below. I always appreciate it when you do that. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel devoted to vinyl if you want to be alerted whenever a new video drops. And as always, I want to leave you with this question. Have you felt that the majority of vinyl records you've purchased have been graded accurately? Have you ever felt hoodwinked or bamboozled when it came to an online transaction because the vinyl record you got in the mail in no way matched the description online? Make sure you leave your comments down below. I really can't wait to hear what you guys have to say on this particular subject. I'm sure y'all got a lot of crazy stories. And once again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it very much, and I will see you in the next video. Make sure you grade your records accurately. Come on. Come on.